Hey guys, I just made an update video that ended up being kind of long-winded and emotional, and I was sitting up, so it was a bit tiring. I'm resting back now. I just wanted to basically explain what what I'm dealing with right now with my medical condition, what atlantoaxial instability is, um, and you know, kind of condense that a little bit. So basically, when I went to the States, I met with a very well-known specializing neurosurgeon and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome specialist, Dr. Henderson. He did 2 scans of me upright, uh, an upright MRI of me with my, showing my head and neck supporting with flexion and extension, and a CT scan that was rotational, so turning my head from side to side. And of course, I went out there because I've been dealing with neck problems and nervous system problems for a few years now, especially the past 2 years. And for the past 2 years, I've had to use neck collars for support. So obviously, there's a strong suspicion that I've developed, that I had developed the complication with Ehlers-Danlos, either CCI, so craniocervical instability, or some kind of neck instability and or brainstem compression. This is a complication that happens to people with Ehlers-Danlos. I think it's 1 in 10 or something like that. Unfortunately, I had to be the lucky 1 in 10. These problems with the craniocervical junction and the neck, they are really serious because they are, I mean, this is your nervous system, this is your circulation, this is your cognitive, this is your brain here. Um, it's your life, it's your vitality. So, developing these problems, CCI and AAI, which is what I have, atlantoaxial instability, they are life-threatening conditions. So, basically, Dr. Henderson found that my biggest problem, rather than having a Chiari, I don't have a full Chiari malformation, meaning a herniation of my brainstem into the spine. I don't have that, but I did have the small, the crowded brainstem. So I'm not going to turn my head, I'm not going to dare turn my head right now, but I had the small back of skull there, which is very classically Ehlers-Danlos, and so my brainstem is crowded. So it can become compressed when I'm upright for too long, because my main problem is atlantoaxial instability, which is the instability and collapsing of the C1, C2, like it's a subluxed. Here's the C1, C2, the first vertebra, and they're unstable and maybe bending inward and that sort of thing. And this causes that, almost like impaling the brainstem, especially the longer that I'm upright, exerting myself, especially without a supportive collar or with only a minimum supporting collar like this, because this one doesn't do enough anymore, although it is really cool looking compared to this. I have to sleep in this for my safety. I don't have to live in this as of now. He hasn't ordered me to do that yet, thank God. It actually drives me nuts, to be honest. I really don't know what I'm going to do if it comes to a point that I have to live in it, because it's hot, it irritates me, it drives me crazy, it hurts my jaw, it really hurts my collarbone, but it does keep me stable, and that's the bottom line. I wish they would invent something a little bit better out there. Christina Doherty, a very well-known EDS blogger, has expressed her thoughts on the Vista collar, and when she talked about it, I related with that a lot. But you got to do what you got to do. So I do use it when I'm really bad off. I do use it when I have to ride my mobility scooter. I have to use this, and for sleeping, I have to do it when I sleep because it's not safe for me otherwise. This is unstable right here, and if I turn my head the wrong way, I can cut off my breathing supply or my circulation. Like, it's scary, and I didn't say this in the last video, but Dr. Henderson told me about the small but possible chance of sudden death, and that really upset me. And I just, I told my mother-in-law about it, and she was like, you just keep believing that that's not going to happen to you. Like, she said, think about Stephen Hawking's, and like, he was doomed, right? And he lived on for years. And so, I mean, I can't think about that. Like, if I go, I go. But I'm going to think in my mind that while I'm here, I'm going to do what I can to stay here and to make an impact here. So that's the bottom line. But yeah, so atlantoaxial instability is what my main problem is. And then in addition to atlantoaxial instability, the C1, C2, I have C3, C4, C5 are all unstable. So the first half of my neck is unstable and needs to be fused with a with a cervical fusion. And so I've been proposed that surgery, and that until I get that surgery, it probably will only get worse, whether that be quickly or slowly. We don't know yet. We just take it day by day, week by week. That's where I'm at, guys, and that's the shorter version of it. I have to try, and right now what I do is I live to dream, and that's why I called my album Live to Dream, and that's why I called this channel Live to Dream, or Dreamer Queen Live to Dream, after my stage name for my music and what I'm doing. I just like Stephen Hawking's lived for his work. And this MRI here, which I showed in the first, this says C1, C2 instability, rotated to the left. So at the moment, it's only on the one side clinically unstable. So probably my other side, my right side, is compensating, which is why I'm still functional. But if that other side goes, that's going to be, I don't want to know. I don't want to know, and I'm not going to think about it, because today is today, and I'm living for today. So that's the short version.